Hey guys, it's Untitled Creations here, and I'm sorry that this video took so long. Just had to get a lot of stuff like fine-tuned and stuff like that. I'm working on a glitch video, which I will hint at the very end of this video, and in this video I'm just gonna break down everything to do with the hunter, like the main abilities. I'm not gonna discuss like jumps or like supers or like very general like stuff like shade step, which is pretty self-explanatory. But I'm just gonna break down some of the like more unknown abilities, and some of these are like shocking. Like you should take all of this into account. Like watch the video to the end, because they're gonna find some things that you would never expect before. And tell me what you think of my new intro, and without further ado, let's begin. Alright, let's begin with the BLADEDANCER. For grenade choices, you have the choice between Flux Grenade, a sticky grenade that does 2 damage on stick and then explodes after 1 second after the stick. The explosion damage is 122 plus 79 for any per people that are stuck. Then you have skip grenades, which are kind of inconsistent. I was able to find a good medium. Next you have arc bolt grenades, which do 91 and they chain, and it does 9 meters from the impact zone. That's 9 meters. Next up, for the melee choices, you have the choice between backstab, which it doesn't work from the front as it used to, or from the head, but does still work from the back and one-shot kills. Next, you have escape artist, which gives you 7.5 seconds after a melee hit. And then you have fast twitch, which basically reduces the cooldown by 88%. Next up, you have for the first tier perk, you have fleet footage, which I wasn't really. It's very marginal. I wasn't able to detect too much of a difference. You have quick draw, which increases the draw speed and aim down sight speed of some weapons. And you have Shadowjack, which also increases the invisibility that was given. Next up, in the very last tree, Encore. The differences were like kept rising and falling. It wasn't really static, and I don't really recommend this one too much. Hungering Blade is pretty self-explanatory. Every time you get a kill with your super or your blade, you get like your health starts regenerating. Honestly, I didn't really want to just suspend what the regeneration really was, because it's kind of inconsistent with your shield and your health. And but the Stalker, basically after 2.5 seconds of crouching, you get invisibility for 6.5 seconds, which can be increased by Shadowjack. Next up, let's talk about the NIGHTSTALKER. The NIGHTSTALKER has a choice between 3 grenades. They have the spike grenade, which does 25 damage every 0.20 second infinitive of a second, which lasts for 3.75 seconds. Here's a video of my friend trying to outrun it, and as I can see, he has a very big cone, so it's very useful for like trapping. Next up, we have the Void Wall grenade, which does 55 initial damage, followed by 19 seconds every 0.27 infinitive of a second. And finally, we have the Vortex grenade, which does 49 initial, followed by 19 per every 0.27 infinitive of a second. Next up, we have the melees. Each melee has 20 initial stick damage, and the inventive does 53 damage of an initial explosion, and has 15 damage per tick, but very inconsistently, of a very consistent time. Vented Smoke gives you 5 seconds of invisibility, and it activates from 4.5 meters away to nearby allies, and like as I said, of all smokes, 20 stick damage. And finally, Snare does 53 on the initial explosion, followed by 8 on shields. That's the white health bar and the right 2/3 of your health bar, but only 3 on armor. So it's very good for getting them weak. Lockdown is a very interesting perk. It increases the duration of your grenades and melees. How much? It's very random. For some it does double, for some it goes over double, but for most it actually goes underneath. So just see what's on the list, how much it increases, and you can see whether or not you should use it or not. Finally, you have the Keen Scout, which there's a marginal increase to sprint. There's a decent crouch increase, so if you're doing like the raid and you're carrying the parts, it can be very useful there. But its main facet would definitely be its enhanced radar and its like wall hacks. Alright, finally let's get to the Gunslinger. The Gunslinger has a choice between 3 grenades. The Incendiary Grenade does 2 impact damage. It does 170 from the initial explosion to all targets, and it does 5 ticks of 7 over a short period of 3.25 seconds. So that's about 0.61 per every tick. Swarm Grenade has about 13 Seekers, and each Seeker does about 10 damage, and even less. It's kind of weird, like it explodes like prematurely, and it does like even less damage. And just don't use it; it's very inconsistent. And the Trip Mine does 188 damage or 2 impact if you manage to somehow hit somebody with it. A Throw Knife does 142 per like crit, and body shot. Well, screw body shots. It's like this thing has massive aim assist, and you really should be aiming for the head. Circle of Life gives you 9% back for if you get a critical hit. Incendiary Blade does 6 ticks of 7 damage. So it's only 184, which is enough to kill tier 1 armor, I believe. Knife Juggler obviously gives you a free throwing knife if you get a precision hit if you're using it. And the Scavenger gives you 20% of your grenade or melee abilities every time you get an ammo like pickup. The type of ammo does not matter. Gunslinger's Trance, it reduces your stability 20% on tier 1, 30% on tier 2, and 35% on tier 3. Chain of Woe decreases your cooldown by 23% on tier 1, 33% on tier 2, and 43% on tier 3. And Over the Horizon, it increases the distance of a golden gun. Normally it goes around like 70 meters, but here I was hitting people. I was hitting people from across the map Sky Shock, and I honestly couldn't find a distance of more than about 200 meters. So if you can tell me, I'll try to test it there. But yeah, that's basically all the hunter abilities.